but the guy was going for the kill shot with the Tech 9 and the thing wasn't working. Got tattooed that night. I set an appointment and I came back and I saw the drawings and I was like, some of it was cool, some of it I didn't like at all. And yeah, so to this day I'll show it to you. It just is zero. It's like, what the f*** is that? You just drew, you know, I explained like how this stuff would all flow up to it and flow around it and all this. And this guy just draws a what? A what? You know? It's funny how somebody will do some f***ed up with me and then I'll become best of friends with them for decades. And he's messed up so many tattoos, it's actually ridiculous. I mean, he f***ed up some on my arm here, where he put the wrong color in the wrong spot, put the lines in the wrong spot, and then again on he has lines over lines that shouldn't be there. The depth is wrong, and you know, it's sad that the guy got a hold of as much of my money as he did. So I felt like, I mean, honestly, I should have just walked. I mean, he became a good friend for a while, but I mean, it's just one of those situations where the tattooing lasts forever. And when you look at it quickly as a whole, it's just like, okay. But when people look at my tattoos close up, they just, crappy work, you know. And that, I paid a ton of money. OG getting tattooed since 91. But, you know, it's all about the shop, you know. And this guy's a flash artist. He's not an artist. He's just so anyway. So I ended up getting tattooed from that guy exclusively until that tattoo shop had like the most ghetto ass, like kind of halfway house apartment type of one step away from homeless people type of thing going on. And there was a fire upstairs and the water poured down through and the tattoo shop up. And this is the second time that this owner had a tattoo shop go up from fire. He had another shop burned down that was off Burnside, and then he had then this shop. So, and the owner of this shop, boy, he deserves a whole story as well. I mean, this guy, his reputation of his past was holy crazy, which by the time I learned about all this, we were already friends. And and we became friends because he invited me to his house. He invited me and my girlfriend to his house for a pagan holiday, Yule. That was one of the coolest things I ever did. I was like, I mean, I felt like such a honored person to be at an event like that, because it was just like all successful counterculture people. So it wasn't a square in the room, just freaking amazing people that were at that time were all amazing people. But it's just knowing how all those people turned out from where they were to where they ended up. I mean, it was sad. The fall from grace was drugs. So these Yule events at Lion King, I think he actually changed his name. on in the inside, giant lizards and birds flying around, mushroom inoculated logs in the yard. It was impressive. They used to make so much money tattooing back in the day. So much money. They would just kill it. I mean, they would have $1,000 days all the time. Each artist, $1,000, and that was their cut. So then there was even more than that, because it was like 10% or 15% that the shop would keep. So the artists are walked. So there's $150 per artist per day that the shop's making. So Lion was making a bunch of money. Well, he is the story of Bob. Literally. There's a guy that wanted to party every once in a while, kept a full-blown drug addict around just so he wouldn't get busted trying to cop drugs, and ended up just having such availability to drugs, it killed his wife and ruined his life. Heroin in this situation. Probably in other too, I have to imagine. But yeah, I'll never forget it, because like, you'd be at these parties with these people, and everybody in the party is like me, right? Like counterculture, decent looking, successful, intelligent, fun type of people. And then there was always this one dude. And being an empath, I just feel these people. This guy, his soul had already long ago been eaten by drugs. And he was just like what I think of when I think of this ghetto white trash. I mean, he was ghetto white trash personified. Okay, so now I've talked about my racist period. And then the weird thing is when I became like an anti-racist, some of these people that I was around and I really was oblivious to the situation were like epic racists. Like for instance, I got a tattoo from this guy that owned the 21st Century Studio, and he was a KKK member, and back when he was in prison or something, and it was like totally freaking shocking to me to hear this, because like the counter guy, Jason, is a half Japanese guy. So I always was like on this like level of like, well, these guys are totally, because I was just over the hating the people that were, just whatever. I mean, it's mostly not people's fault. Now, you become a Nazi, I mean, it's not your fault if you're, all the race, if you're whatever race, not that it's a bad thing to be any other kind of race. I'm just saying, like, in my opinion, I was being an idiot, being a racist, because it's being mad at somebody for something they have no control over. And that's just stupid. Or not liking somebody or wanting to be separated from somebody just because of something that's complete. Now, I can totally understand not wanting to be around stupid people. That's something that you literally can, it's not the person, maybe, their parents set them up for failure, but I mean, that's something that discrimination of stupid people, discrimination of unhealthy people. I mean, these are just people I don't want to be around. I don't want to be around unhealthy people. I don't want to be around stupid people. Is that some kind of racism? I don't know. But, I mean, it's just the way I choose to live my life. So, and I really don't care what color people are. I really just care what kind of people they are. I mean, that's, and, I just have lived in a place that's predominantly white my whole life. And when I adventured in this I haven't really adventured off in any other place. Still just found, But, so anyway, back to my story is then I became really, really anti-racist, to the point where, and I've talked about this guy before, I think, in reference to like growing up around where I grew up. And this guy, Jason Stevens, I called him out by name. And, you know, I think calling out that guy by name, because he's like, maybe he's changed, maybe he's not a full-blown racist, but that guy in high school snitched out, like, all these people he sold weed to, and then he snitched them out. So, and then he became a white supremacist and would run around Portland with a crew of dudes and take over parties and just generally be douchebags. So, and at that point, like, I was pretty well strapped with firearms. I had some guns, and one of those guns I had was one of the worst guns ever made and it just looked so cool. I had to buy one, and it was a Tech 9, and the thing literally didn't shoot for the jam, and I mean, it was just a piece of and it was probably intentional. Like, let's build this really cool gun. All the people that buy guns for the way they look will buy buying this gun, so they really won't be able to do that much damage. I mean, I literally have seen a video of a guy trying to kill somebody, but their Tech 9 wouldn't work. But it worked, like it shot like once or twice or something, and the guy was laying there shot, but the guy was going for the kill shot with the Tech 9, and the thing wasn't working. So, anyway, those are just junk guns. And so, I was at this house party. It was a notorious place for house parties in Portland. It wasn't even a house, it was like a warehouse. And it was heavy metal scene, and they had bands after hours and selling booze and all kinds of drugs, and I mean, just people partying until the sun came up, and then just trying to just like, the people that live there just being like, oh, you gotta leave, you know, because there's a dude that left there in a wheelchair. I don't even remember his name, but yeah. Poor guy. Yeah, his house was a party all the time. So anyway, I used to party in there like kind of frequently. Yeah, one time we're in there and that crew comes in there, and I'm just, I don't know, I didn't do drugs all the time, but I drank all the time, smoked weed all the time. And I probably wasn't doing drugs at this time, because I don't know if I had done like some meth or coke or something like that to kind of wake up out of the drinking, which is like, I never was like doing meth or doing coke. I was always like drunk and trying to drink more. That was the whole thing. Yeah, if I can do some coke, I can keep partying. Yeah, woo! Right. So, these guys come in there, and it's immediately like, oh, these guys, right? Drove back to the house, got the Tech 9, stuffed the Tech 9 in the pants, which is probably where the Tech 9 breaks, because it's always something to do with the clip and the receiver where the clip goes, that the thing's all wobbly. Well, if you stuff it in your pants with the long clip on it, that's exactly what's going to happen. And again, it would not surprise me to find out this is all by design. I mean, they're not even a good gun for a gun. So, I mean, they literally have no use. I mean, like, even if you're some sociopath or a psychopath that wants to kill people, why would you buy a gun that's so Anyway, I drive down there, drive back, drunk as I didn't drive myself, but I'm not going to say who drove me, because I don't want to put any kind of criminal behavior on anybody else. So, but you know, the way I looked at it is like, you know, once I really started looking into it, and once I started, I was like, geez Louise, man. I was just more ashamed of myself for ever thinking that way and ever doing that. And it was just like, and I have to believe believe it was that guy that I hung out with, because it wasn't in my nature. I guess I did spray paint those swastikas, but I actually didn't give a fuck about anything about that. So I don't know. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if I wasn't like the victim of some CIA, and you watch this movie, that movie, and it's going to trigger something in your brain. Anyway, there has to be some reason why. Where did those, like my grandfather was racist, but he didn't say anything. I remember asking my dad some very pointed questions about racist stuff. I think I even asked my dad if we were racist. I think I did ask him that at one point. So yeah, once I, and it wasn't like some like, oh, I'm a racist. I'm not a racist now. I'm not, it was like, I was hanging out with the dudes for a few years, and then I started doing, talking racist. And then I wasn't hanging out with that guy anymore, and I was hanging out with, these different, and that totally was like, not even it. But then some of the people that I'm hanging out with are totally, used to be total a KKK member. Who knows if the guy, I don't know him, what his, who knows. He could have still been a racist and just like half Japanese. Can't really say. And it's not like I knew this, it just happens to be a random kind of thing. There was somebody else too. Oh, well, I think it turned out to be, probably not a racist like ever in the KKK, but this other dude that shop, it's just ignorance now. I think I started to feel enlightened at some point, and like felt like racism was stupid, and then I'm like, yeah, and it really what separated it for me was smart people and dumb people. That's what, for me, it was like, I don't really dislike any race in particular. I just dislike pieces of and idiots. So when you only have contact with a certain demographic of a race, and that's the only interaction you ever had, that can limit that's why it's good for people to travel around the world and meet good people in every race around the world. Not really, but that's how people should be living their lives. In a resource-based economy, it'd be much more peaceful. All peace, just peace and everything. I head back to this party. I got this freaking gun on me, and they had already left. Oh, yeah. I really drew that one out for pretty much no punchline. Other than I was running around in the party, mean mugging, where's those racists? Yeah. And I'm lucky they were gone. Holy that would have up my whole life. How would it have gone down? Well, A, it could have gone down, I could have killed some people and died. I could have killed some people and not died and gone to jail. I could have not killed some people and got killed. I could have not killed some people, not got killed, and gone to jail. There's really like no scenario in which I end up like some like crazy cool guy that killed all the Nazis. No. They will put you in goddamn prison for the rest of your life if you kill people. Like, I think it's even one person at this point, you're done forever. Like in Oregon, I guess it was only like 7 years or something, and that's how that dude killed someone and was out. And then I met him, and he was a tattoo artist, and he was off. He was a little cookie, but he was a hell of an artist. Super glad that the people weren't there. I would have been not making this video right now, living a life of like high security murder. Holy and especially like murdering a bunch of Nazis and then getting sent to prison where the Nazis are in probation. I mean, that's it. So, that's the high security prisons. The low security prisons aren't that, but they don't send murderers, especially multi-murderers, to. And I honestly don't even remember. I was so drunk. I might have just been. I guess there is a scenario. I could have showed up with the gun, not killed anyone, not got killed, run the Nazis off, and not gone to jail. Okay? I guess that could have happened. So, but what did happen? I left, they left, problem solved.